There is no Big Brother. Not as a person, not as an all-powerful entity watching everything, and I think that's actually the most scariest part about this book. With all the recent events, 1984 is starting to feel less like fiction and more like something Orwell wrote down 30 years too early. 1984 is set in a totalitarian state called Oceania, where party controls everything, the history, the language, and even thought. There are thought police going around capturing people for thinking the wrong things. There are telescreens everywhere around you, watching you, they're monitoring your thoughts, and presiding over all of this is Big Brother. This omnipresent figurehead whose face is on every poster, every waking hour you are reminded of him, and how he's watching you. In the book, Winston Smith is a low-level party worker whose job is literally to rewrite historical records to match whatever the party currently says is true. He works in the Ministry of Truth, which is like the firemen of Fahrenheit 451. It does the exact opposite of what the name suggests. It's essentially an invent bullshit and make the party look good factory. The institution named for truth exists purely to manufacture lies, all the bullshit that party throws at the people. Throughout the book, Winston starts to quietly rebel and meets a woman named Julia, and that's the surface of the book. The book is really about something else. It's about control. It's about how people in control will never let the control escape them. There's a moment in the book that stuck with me where Winston looks out a window and watches a parole woman in the courtyard below just doing laundry, hanging clothes to dry. And there's this line that goes through his head. Why hold the fruit inferior to the flower that bore it? She's not doing anything remarkable. She's just doing laundry. She's just existing outside of an ideology. Outside of an ideology that the party has set. Outside of the reach of the party. And Winston finds something hopeful in that, even though he can't fully articulate what. Here's my actual take on the book. I think there is no Big Brother. He's a symbol the party constructed and maintains because power is easier to sustain when people believe there's something larger than the institution behind it. And when even the institution appears to be afraid of Big Brother, it never crosses the citizen's mind that Big Brother might as well not be real. The party doesn't need Big Brother to be real. They just need you to believe in he might be. And the idea of him existing is way scarier than if he were actually real. Because it means that the machinery control doesn't require a mastermind. It just requires compliance, reputation, and enough people whose job it is to make a lie feel true. I don't want to spoil this book too hard, but the most underrated thing in the book is who ends up being on whose side. Winston and Julia think they found someone helping them fight the party from the inside. But the whole thing is a trap. It was always a setup. The evidence they were given of a resistance movement was written by the same person who hands them over in the end. That gutted me more than the ending ever did. Because it's not just betrayal, it's the idea that resistance itself can be manufactured. That the party is so in control that even the act of rebellion can be a tool it uses. When the feeling of progress can be manufactured as an illusion, when they let you climb a mountain, give you hope, let you believe you're going somewhere, they're not losing control, they're exercising their control, watching how far you'll go. This reminds me of a line from The Handmaid's Tale. A rat in a maze is free to go anywhere, as long as it stays in the maze. And it connects to something else in the book, the chocolate ration. Winston has this memory, clear as anything, that last week the ration was 30 grams, and today it's 20, and the party announces it as an increase. The terrifying part isn't that they lie. It's about how they make you question your own memory, how they gaslight you. Because when the party controls not just the present, but your memory of the past, reality itself becomes negotiable. Your own mind is your own enemy at this point. Orwell defines doublethink as holding two contradictory beliefs simultaneously and accepting them both. The party uses it as a control mechanism, but honestly, I kinda do this, even without a party controlling me. I genuinely think that things are heading somewhere bad, and at the same time, I have this stubborn glimmer of hope that something good is coming, that things get better, that the arc bends somewhere decent. Both of these ideas feel true to me at the same time, and I don't resolve these ideas. Maybe that's just being human, or maybe Orwell was pointing at something. You're fighting a system that's not fighting you back. It's testing its control, the feeding of illusion of resistance, letting you feel like you're pushing back while keeping your ideas contained to you and your small group. Because containment is how the system wins. You don't have to be defeated, you just have to be isolated. That's the real ending of 1984. It's not the torture, it's not the confession, it's not Winston getting destroyed. He gets contained, and he accepts it. That's the ending of 1984. Is this book still relevant in the year 2026? Yes, obviously yes. Would I recommend this book? Yes, especially if you're a student or young adult. Not because it's a classic, really because the world you are inheriting looks a lot like what Orwell was describing, and the least you can do is go in with your eyes open. If you've read 1984, I'd genuinely like to know what stuck with you. Drop it in the comments below, and if you liked my rambling, you know the drill. Like, subscribe. I'm currently reading Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Basterica, if that's correct, as of recording this audio clip.